Good afternoon. You're listening to Take a Stand, where we speak life into the community. Like us on Facebook, follow us on social media, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. This is a disclaimer. This is the views of the host and not the show producer. And this is the topics and the of my guests. Thank you so much. We have Lydia Glaize here today, Miss Lydia Glaize, and we're going to be talking about scholarships. We have Makenzie Thomas, the Westlake student that has accepted all this money, and her mother, but right now we're waiting on them because they're over at another event accepting a check. So just as soon as they come on, we'll go into Miss Makenzie and Miss Thomas. They're coming in now. Lydia, give us a little briefing of you while we're waiting on the guests.
Fantastic. First of all, I want to say again, it's a pleasure to be with WCEG and the host, Miss Damita Chatman, and the producer. I am just so excited, but I am a retired educator. I spent my last 10 years as director of college and career services and scholarships. And prior to being an educator, I was an auditor with IRS, Internal Revenue Service. Most of us know we got to get those taxes in. But I'm an avid supporter of young people having opportunities for careers and for careers through scholarships. And so that's probably what I'm known for best in the world of education, is getting young people into college programs on athletic and academic, as well as community service, scholarships, along with the music and arts, as well as I've been a recruiter for the military academies. And so all the top academies, the Naval Academy, Air Force Academy, the Coast Guard Academy, and of course, West Point. I've probably put more students in from this region into those top tier military colleges than anyone else in this region in that short period of time. And as you know, each one of those scholarships are worth $1.5 to $2 million per scholarship for the military academies. So I am excited to be with Miss Makenzie today. Just her work and what she's done is just phenomenal. We just want to lift her parents, her mom in particular, up for the great work that they've done and stood behind a phenomenal student. And now she has access to do and go places that, hey, a lot of her peers, if they didn't do the work, they won't be able to go. Amen. Like she's going. And that's with free, FREE, free.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We have Makenzie, and since I got a relationship with her, I'm going to call her Jennifer. Hi, Makenzie.
Hey.
Hi, Jennifer. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm just speechless of this baby. I've watched her growing. Ooh, I just want to hear all the money that she got. Come on, tell us a little bit about yourself, Makenzie. First, before I get you, I'm gonna have to let the mama introduce herself, because it wouldn't be a Makenzie if it wouldn't be for mama. Come on, Jennifer.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Thompson. I've been a resident of the city of South Fulton for the last 16 years. I have been engaged with Fulton County Schools since Makenzie was in kindergarten, along with also being the chairperson for the Fulton County Code Enforcement Board. I sit and work on many different community advocate programs, along with working with Councilwoman Gums. I've done so much in the community. That's how myself and Damita met, was with the different things that I do in the community. So it is just a blessing to be a part of working with Makenzie and other parents throughout the school system, because we're a village here. And as much as I do for her, all these parents know that I would do the same for them. So I've been involved in the PTA, I've been involved with the dance team. I've been involved with Magnet Booster Club. So that's between Stonewall Tail, Sandtown Middle School, as well as Westlake. And a lot of these parents, we've matriculated from kindergarten up until graduation, which we're looking forward to in May. So that's a little bit about myself.
Okay, thank you. Come on, Makenzie, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Makenzie. I am a senior at Westlake High School. I participate in a lot of different stuff, but I currently serve as the senior class president. I'm a 4-year veteran and co-captain of the Blue Rain Dance Team. I'm also the vice president of Beta Club, a varsity baseball manager, a member of National Honor Society, National Honor Society of Dance Arts. I am a treasurer for a teen investment group. Trying to think what else I don't do.
Ain't you in the Magnet program?
Oh yes, I'm in the Magnet program. I'm an IB certificate candidate. I also am a work-based learning student. So I go and work for some of my classes. And I recently just won the Unsung Heroine Award from the National Coalition of 100 Black Women. And back in January, I received a proclamation making January Makenzie Thompson Month in the city of South Fulton.
All right, all right. Well, I'm gonna tell you, Makenzie, I've watched you through the years. I watched you come to church, sit next to your mother and father. But what stuck out with me is when we did the luncheon at Sandtown. Do you remember that? You remember that?
Probably not.
When we did the luncheon for the teachers. And I think that day that I came over to Sandtown, I think you were the student of the week or something, but you kind of took control of the school, the halls. You also, when we were feeding the teachers, I mean, you had them, I mean, you just had them in order. You was telling them when to come, when to get back, and the kids. And I remember seeing you come through the hall, and some of the kids was going to lunch and getting out of line, and you was just speeding up. I got pictures of it. I'm gonna post it on social media. But during that time, and I think the former mayor was there that time, Bill Edwards. And I saw you how you just went through without no problems. And the kids was just like you were the principal of the school. So let me ask you, what made you pick, out of all the schools that you was accepted, what made you pick the one that you picked?
So I picked Tuskegee University, the best school, but I picked Tuskegee because when I got a chance to go on campus, they really embraced me. You know, they took me under their wing. I had a mentor, and even to this day, when I went, I wasn't even in the 10th grade yet, and we still talk to this day. Also, just going on campus, being able to have hands-on experience with the animals, go to the calf and eat, walk around the yard. It felt really good. And also another thing I was just telling somebody is that whole week I was there, I think I only had to wear my name tag for the first day. Whereas when I went to a vet program at like a PWI, we had to wear it the whole week. They really took pride in learning who you were, learning something about you. And also Tuskegee produces 70% of all Black veterinarians, which is a pretty positive statistic that I want to be a part of.
Let me ask you, it's like a noise in the background. I don't know if you're the Pandora braces is here.
Yes, I'm sorry. We just put it under the table.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You picked Tuskegee. What was if you didn't pick Tuskegee? What would another school you would have picked if it wouldn't have been Tuskegee?
I think if it wasn't Tuskegee, I was looking at Mississippi State and maybe Spelman or maybe North Carolina A&T.
Okay. So I know that you want to stay with them Black colleges.
Yes.
Absolutely. Let me ask you a question. What can you tell other students that want to follow your path, what should they do?
I feel like they need to work on, or you have to figure out how to master time management. Without time management, there's not really a lot that you can do because, you know, colleges, they don't really like to see people who are just school, home, school, home. You know, they want to see how well-rounded you are, what things you're involved in. That comes with time management. So I'll say that. And also trust in the process, because once you're going into applying to colleges, it can get really tough. It can become very overwhelming. Maybe not getting as much money from a school or getting into a school you really had your mind on can really, you know, discourage people. And I say trust the process, because a man's rejection is God's protection. So it's really, you really just have to trust the process.
Okay, I like that. Let me ask you a question. How much money did you receive as of right now?
As of right now, I'm over 1.3 million, probably about to hit 1.4 million.
That's a lot of money. Let me ask you this. When you first got started getting the money in, well, how did you and your mom, what was your and your mom reaction?
Well, me, my mom, and my dad, we were all.
Yeah, I got to look. I'm sorry, I forgot, because Mr. Thomas is a dad. He's on hands dad. So what did y'all do?
When we first started seeing the money roll in, we were like, we didn't even know schools had that much money to give out to somebody in a scholarship. So it was like, oh my God. So then once we, like, when I went to the college fairs and you see them like hand it to you in person, like hand you the paper that says we're going to give you 60,000 right now, or we're going to give you 80,000. It's like, I didn't know y'all had that much money just to give to a student. Like, it just shows you how bad a school really wants you to come there.
Okay. I'm going to ask Miss Glaize, because she deals with scholarship. Miss Glaize, tell me, she said she didn't know that kind of money was out there. So could you tell me a little bit how children that don't make the grades but still can get some money, how can they get more money, like Makenzie?
Well, first of all, there is probably few and far Makenzies in this world. So
Yeah.
Makenzie, you are a standout and you are a standalone. So I just want to say that from the onset, and we're so proud of you from South Fulton. But Damita, that's a good question. There are a lot of students who may not have a 4.0 plus GPA. They may have not been on the IB track, or, you know, been in a National Honor Society beta club, all of that. But still in Georgia, there are ways for them to go to college. You can start and access college at the junior college level. So you can go to the local Atlanta area tech and start there. And there are funds there. There are funds. So if you are looking to actually go into a particular skilled trade, there is funding there for free that you can get a certification. So you can start at the 2-year track and then build up your GPA, and then apply after your second year to a 4-year college, and then go from there. So
I think Lydia internet went out for a minute.
Yeah.
She'll come back. Makenzie, let me say this, and I'm going I want to congratulate the world for having the first Black Justice
Right.
Jackson. You can do the same thing, Makenzie.
Yep.
Where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
20 years from now. So I hope to see myself, well, I'm not going to say I hope, I see myself with my own veterinary practice. So my own private practice, but I also see myself purchasing land, you know, creating generational wealth. Yes, sorry, tongue twister. But creating wealth for generations to come after me. Also, I want to have like a teaching farm to partner with different universities or high schools. Like, I didn't get the chance in high school for like a field trip to a farm. So I'd want to offer that to other kids that are interested in agriculture. So I don't want to have my own teaching farm on the land that I purchased.
I love it. Now, let me ask you this. What made you go into veterinary school?
Oh, so I'm an only child, so I didn't grow up with siblings, so it was a little boring. So, but my parents did give me pets. So we've had, I think since I've been born, we've had like 4 dogs, and then we've had the guinea pig, the snapping turtle, the fish. They wouldn't let me get anything else. Like for a while, I wanted like a corn snake and bearded dragon, and like a bird, but they were like, no, we're not doing that. So they let me have as much as far as they were willing to go, but that really created my love for all animals.
Wow. I can't even see that in Jennifer.
What, the animals?
Yes.
It's wild for
It took
us
a
to
while.
no, like they were cool with the dogs and the fish. The guinea pig took a lot. I created a whole PowerPoint on why I should have got the guinea pig.
We made her do a whole PowerPoint presentation. She got the how much it costs, how you take care of it, the upkeep, how much everything.
And believe it or not, that was the best pet. He lived for Mikey lived for like 9 years. And then the snapping turtle, we just found him on the side of our house. So I took him and I ended up taking him to school and brought him back. So yeah.
Wow. You know, in 2005, where you guys live, in 2005, when they were just building over there, it was a lot of, I guess you call them toads, the little baby frogs.
Yeah.
The streets used to be covered with them, like somebody had just pulled them out of the sky. Wow. So let me ask you this, Makenzie. I saw you the other day at your prom. Beautiful.
Thank you.
And I know mom and dad always gonna do you know, give you top notch, even if you didn't get the scholarships. But I'm gonna tell you, boy, you looked awesome with that that gray dress on. And then I looked and I say, the baby got a Rolls Royce.
Thank you.
I said she deserved every bit of it. Let me tell you, the night of the prom, tell me how you felt being the scholar there.
Well, at school, I don't look for extra praise, you know. I'm still a normal student. You know, I wouldn't want people to treat me different. You know, I still just go to school here, trying to graduate. You know, I kind of dress like a bum sometimes. But prom night was really fun. I enjoyed it with my friends. We had a really good night. Westlake went all out for us at the venue and everything of that sort. So it was really, really good night.
Thank you. Jennifer, I'm going to ask you a question because, you know, often and you on social media where sometimes you hear parents say that we don't have great schools here in South Fulton. They want to send their kids to the north side. And I had a son that I sent to Westlake. They graduated out the magnet program, went on to UGA. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say Westlake is top notch. We have some top notch schools. So tell me, what could you tell parents when they come or you hear them say that they're going to send their kids to the north side?
You know, what Makenzie has done and accomplished here at Westlake, I almost look at that as the norm. And even though she may have exceeded the norm, Westlake produces some very, very high scholar students. A couple of years ago, every one of their graduates all received a scholarship for college or was accepted in the college. Not one student was not accepted. They have phenomenal teachers here. They have teachers that care. They had teachers that look out for you. They had teachers that call you on the phone if the student is not doing anything. Like any other school, you do have that group of kids that may need a little bit more extra attention, and that goes along everywhere. But that is the one thing that I find with our South Fulton community as well as Westlake. We are a family, and we treat each other as a family. I was told today that I had no idea that because of Makenzie's outstanding notoriety, Westlake has gotten an influx of people that want to come and visit the school because of what she has shown them what Westlake can do. And in some of her interviews, she's even said, We have good kids and good schools down here. We don't understand why people think that we don't. So I am definitely an advocate for public schools because this is where our tax dollars go.
Absolutely.
We need to demand what we want. And there's no reason why we as parents should have to go pay to send our kids to a private school when our kids can get the same education that they can from a private school here at a public school. So
I agree with you. Like I said, my son went to Westlake, and what I tell parents, you have to be involved. You can't sit back and let the teachers, the counselors do the job. You have to be involved.
Absolutely.
And I mean, that's from day one. And so I'll tell anybody that Westlake is the best. I didn't have a problem out, and my son graduated from the magnet program. I think Mr. Edward Douglas was the
principal then.
No, he was over the magnet program.
Okay.
Penny Griswold, I think, back then in 2009.
Okay.
Let me ask you, Lydia, because she touched something about private school, and you did the private school at Landmark.
I did.
Do you agree with Ms. Thomas?
I don't. I think what I do agree with is that Westlake is a phenomenal school. And my colleagues that worked in guidance from Westlake were amazing. They were brilliant. They cared. They were passionate about their students, but not every school in South Fulton. And we were not in the Westlake district, and neither could we get there. And so I had to opt out for a different road. Not every road is for every kid, and not every school in South Fulton was achieving. They are achieving a lot better than they were previously, but Westlake was not one of the schools that we ever had a concern about. But there were many on the South Side. And so if you go back and look at the record, the lowest achieving schools were on the South Side. I remember when my oldest daughter graduated from high school, the local high school only had 3 kids with over 1,000 on the SAT. 3.
Wow.
And they made the newspaper and and I did not want an option where the ceiling and the doors and the room walls were coming around my children and closing them in. So I opted for the more difficult path, and that is to pay taxes and then to pay tuition on top of that. And I didn't have 1 or 2 kids to pay tuition. So I want to be clear about this. I paid tuition for 6 kids. And
Wow.
so I paid my bigger house, my better car, my what I was going to retire off of. I paid for that because it was important that my kids had an excellent education, and they did. And they all went to college on scholarships. They all went to the top schools in the nation, Ivy League, Dartmouth, Davidson, Wake Forest, the Naval Academy, Wesleyan. And so, I mean, I knew that if I paid first, then scholarships could pay later. And that's what we did. We set them up so that they would have 2 transcripts, the academic transcript and then the transcript for extracurricular. So they all played sports. They were in music or art, and they had thousands of hours of community service. That was essential for my kids. And when I moved into college and career, that was essential for every one of my students, that they have a resume that built community service hours. And then, it's important to always know that we have to support people where they are, so that kids might take a different path. Just like I was saying before I got cut off, that the junior college system is a great way. But there's another system, and that we call the second college degree, that's free. and that is through apprenticeship programs. And so, as you know, I've worked the last 4 years with United Way of Greater Atlanta. I'm the labor liaison. And so I work with all the labor unions in Metro Atlanta. There's over 52, and there are 13 apprenticeship programs. So IBEW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, 5 years and you're a journeyman, you're an electrician. 3 years, you're an IT specialist, and you start work day one, you get paid day one, you have benefits, retirement, and there is no debt. And so there are a lot of options that I wanted to bring to our students beside only the college route, because 80% of our kids in the South are not going to college on the South Side. And so we needed other ways to move these kids into careers that were sustainable, and that they could have a good living and a good lifestyle for their families. And I'll tell you, apprenticeship programs, certifications at the junior college level are not a bad option. They're second to none. They're second to none. And there's no debt.
Okay, thank you. Let me ask, I can ask Jennifer. I'm gonna ask Jennifer this. How does Makenzie manage school, studying, and all her extra activities? How does she manage all of this?
She does real good with her time management, and she kind of positions herself every Sunday. She sits down and try to map out her week and what she has going on. And then based off of that, because right now she's in baseball season as the head baseball manager. And what she does is maps it out that way. And then from there, she puts in her homework where she fits it in. And she does real good about time management. She also manages her time well with her friends, because I always tell her it's always good to step away to clear your head. You know, in this particular COVID environment, you know, that's really key is mental health. So I always encourage her to do some type of self-care where she just steps away for a little bit, but she does pretty good. If she does get overwhelmed, I know over the last 3 weeks with everything that's been going on with her, it has been overwhelming. So this past week with spring break, she pretty much slept the whole week to give herself a break and clear her mind a little bit and just get back into the swing of things. So even with that, it was a little overwhelming for her, because we were going from here to here, this interview, this and that, then trying to do her homework, then trying to still do things with the baseball team. And oh, by the way, Tuskegee wanted us to come down there. So it was a lot going on, but she did pretty good. She slept in the car a lot. So wherever she could catch a nap, that's what she did.
But this morning, I think Makenzie received a check, didn't she? Did she receive some money this morning?
Yes, this morning, the South Metro Tuskegee Alumni Association presented her with a scholarship check of $2,000. Yes, ma'am.
All right. What a blessing. What a blessing. What y'all gonna do when Makenzie go to college? What y'all gonna do?
I'm going to try. I'm gonna be out. I'm going to enjoy myself. You know, this is a new chapter for me. Right. I'm going to be all right.
Well, I know you're going to be all right, but I'm going to tell you this. I hear what you're saying. Tuskegee is about what, 2-hour drive?
Not even that far.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I was at Athens. I think I was driving to Athens. Well, my son didn't have a car at the time, but I was driving to Athens probably every other day. Until the second year.
Oh, no.
And he told me, don't come no more. And I enjoyed it. And now I can't even get to the other college. She won't even allow me to even go down there, but that's okay. I'm going to see how you're going to do that. See if you be running down 85.
Okay.
Take 85 down to Tuskegee. Is that correct?
Yep, straight down 85 South. Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm going to see how many times you go down there. Let me ask you a question of Makenzie. What can she, I know she's a mentor for some of the kids out there in South Fulton. I know. What do you tell Makenzie about all of this money? Because that's a lot of money.
Well, the first thing I had to set straight with a lot of people is that this is scholarship money that is provided to her if she chooses to attend that university. university. Some people thought this was her money to keep, and I said, absolutely not, because these are opportunities that we give to other students, because if it becomes to pass that this is something that she doesn't want, we want to make sure that another student gets that opportunity to use these particular funds. So what it is key is for her is to let those other colleges and universities know whether or not that she's going to proceed with them or decline, and therefore we give other students that opportunity so they can use these funds. So and in some cases we've tried to, you know, make sure they're going into veterinary medicine, make sure they're going into animal science, you know, make sure hopefully they're a minority student that could really use these funds like you offer them to her. Mm-hmm.
So Makenzie, you're going to open up a clinic out here in the city of South Fulton?
Yes.
All right. Well, let me tell you, I'm not a pet lover, but I stop by and see you though. Let me ask you something, Makenzie. The day that you get that diploma and you walk across that stadium, where's graduation going to be this year?
The GICC here in College Park.
Oh, I love it. Back on our side, I love it. When I went, it was down at the Falcons
Dome.
Dome in 2009. So I love that it's on our side, because you don't have to go down to Gwinnett County, and we don't have to take our money down to Gwinnett County. The day that you get that diploma, because you're going to be graduating in the top 25.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, you're gonna graduate in top 25. Your magnet program school. Tell me, how you gonna feel?
I'm gonna feel relieved. I'm gonna feel great, like, oh my gosh. But then I'm also gonna be excited because like college is really about to be here, you know, new chapter. But I'm also gonna be a little nervous because I haven't been in a new environment with new people, like fresh new people ever. Like I've gone to all of my feeder schools, so a lot of my friends always carry over. So now I'm like forced to, you know, make new relationships, which I'm excited about, but you never know how to talk to new people, like all new people, until you get there. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little nervous.
Okay, that's how you're supposed to be. What I'm going to tell you as a parent that had only child, Jennifer, that went to UGA and finna graduate from another school soon. I'll be making that announcement. What I would tell you is to stay focused, which I know you're going to stay focused.
Mm-hmm.
When you go there, you're going to have people that's probably going to entice you. Mm-hmm. You stay focused, be prayerful. And when the folks ask you to sign up for a credit card, you run fast as you can.
No.
Say no.
Right.
Say no.
Mm-hmm.
Say no. What I tell people is 3 things in this life that you don't never want to mess up. That's your name, your word, and your credit.
Yep.
And that credit follow you to the rest of your life until you pay it off. But the good thing about it, you got a full ride scholarship. Did you get Hope too?
No, Hope is only for Georgia schools.
Only for Georgia.
Only Georgia schools? Okay. Well, that's okay. God bless you with some more.
Yeah.
Ms. Chatman, can I jump in?
Yes,
I want to say a couple of things. First of all, I want to thank again Ms. Thompson and just her amazing parenting skills. And you could tell that their team and that there's love because she wasn't pushed. She was coached. Mm-hmm. I can see that. And she is going to be an amazing student because she was coached through high school. And therefore, she has now skill sets and her own priorities and principles that she's going to take to the next level. I can see that. I can hear that in you, Makenzie, and I'm so proud of you. But a couple of things that were said. She manages an athletic team. I've sent kids to college on athletic manager scholarships. I sent a kid to University of Arkansas on a full ride managing the football team. So our students that were managers of teams, I also helped them apply for scholarships and to become managers at the college level. Many of them went on to be those managers and got scholarships for that. So thank you, Ms. Thompson, for pointing that out. I do want to say about 12 years ago, I started a South Fulton Scholarship Athlete Luncheon. I did it for 5 years and I turned it over to a young man named Barry Brown to continue it, because you need someone younger than you that you can make sure that you are getting ready so that you have a succession plan. And I knew I was going to be retiring and I needed someone who was in the space with students, and he had such an interest. He wrote a book called How to Be Successful on and Off the Field, Barry Brown. And we are relaunching the South Fulton Scholarship Athlete Luncheon. It'll be April the 21st. Of course, we got Westlake at all of the schools. We take public, private, parochial, and of course, our public schools in South Fulton. And they're actually the numbers are with the public school students who are getting these full scholarships and going on to college to start their careers. So I just want to say kudos to these young scholarship athletes who we will address and give celebrate on next week, April the 30th, April the 21st, and we're going to be we're actually going to be in the city of South Fulton at Elegant Occasions Event Center, and we'll start about 11 o'clock. We've got Jason Allen, the former NFL player, who will be with us. He'll be one of the keynote speakers. We've got Stephen Acock, who's the deputy director for Parks and Rec from the city of Atlanta. He's also an HBCU grad from Savannah State, and I believe he got his master's from Savannah State, but he was a head football coach, Savannah State, Jackson State, and in North Carolina. So we've got some great folks in that lineup. And again, it's just to highlight our students and the work that they've done as athletes and the fact that they've got full rides. And some of them did get partial athletics and partial academics together. So we have some great students following and with Makenzie in this work as far as scholarships.
Yes. Makenzie, I know you, just tell me, I know you felt like a celebrity in these last couple of weeks. I think I saw you on Good Morning America.
Today Show.
Where was it?
The Today
Show. Just tell me, how did it feel? Because you right now, you all over the world. Matter of fact, my hometown even following you. So just tell me, how do it feel?
It felt really good. I didn't expect it to, blow up as much as it did, but the recognition feels really good.
Awesome. And what I see, you so humble. You're humble. You know, and so that speaks volumes right there. I know your neighbors, the Mackies, them is just overwhelmed, overjoyed.
It takes a village to raise a child. So
absolutely,
they've been a huge part from, Miss Denise tutoring me in math whenever I needed it, Miss Jeanette cooking a meal whenever I needed it, Maurice helping me pick out an outfit, Miss Daphne give me any advice anytime, Keela up and laughing with me. So all of them, they really played a really big part in everything.
And you said it takes a village, and it also takes parents like your mom to be open. Where I know I can come to you and say, Makenzie, don't do that. But you got some parents, they don't want you to tell their kids that. And so I want to thank Jennifer for being a parent, one of those parents, because we're living in some times now that parents have to be parents. Jennifer is your mom, she's your friend, but she can't be that Jennifer. Right. I remember my son, when he went to UGA, he come home and he said, Mom, you're not like the other parents. And I was like, huh? You're not like the other parents. and you don't do this and you don't do this. But guess what he tell me now? Mom, I'm so glad that you weren't like the other parents.
Mhm.
So I see that in Jennifer. I've watched you guys down through the years. So let me ask you, Makenzie, when you go first year, you're gonna live in a dorm.
Yeah, first and second, you're required to live in a dorm.
Right, right. The only child. Now you got to have some space with some more folks. How you gonna deal with that?
I'm actually looking forward to it, believe it or not. Being around somebody, me not having siblings. So, it's all about experience. So now I get to experience, living with somebody else, learning how to cohabitate with somebody. So that's all a part of that character development.
Absolutely. All right.
Uh,
Tuskegee.
Can I mention something to Makenzie?
Yes.
Makenzie, your mom might have this story, but I spoke to my best friend who we met when we were 18 and entered college. It's 44 years later and we are still BFFs. So
Yeah.
I just want you to know you're probably going to find your BFF and it's going to be wonderful.
Yes, I'm excited.
Yeah. Now, is that the young lady that was on the boat with us, Lydia, that can sing real good?
Yes, you met her.
Yes. Let me ask you, Makenzie, because Tuskegee, that's going down towards, you got to go through Montgomery, and you got to go through Phoenix City. It's a little country down there.
It is.
That's what, I got folks living down there, a little country. But what I like about it, ain't it peaceful down there?
Yeah, it's peaceful. When I was looking at colleges, I was looking at like the location, like are they like college towns? What's there, to do around there? And actually things that kind of like I'll say turned me off were like big cities, like colleges in a big city like Georgia State, all spread out. We went to visit NYU and Columbia, and they're just all in really big cities. And I was like, I wouldn't thrive well there. So I really like Tuskegee, how it's a real campus. Like everything is campus like.
Awesome. You gonna get to see them horses and cows down in that neck of the woods?
Yes.
Matter of fact, when I go down there, my folks, I've never witnessed. It kind of tripped me out when I call them donkeys or mules, whatever you want to call them. They walking around the yard and the horses walking around the yard like me. And I was just blown away. So you get to see all of that down there. So let me ask you, when you get to Tuskegee, are you planning to be a mentor, getting active down there with different organizations like he is up here?
Yes, I'm always the type of person that needs to keep busy. I can't just sit around for too long. So whatever I feel intrigues me down there, even if I want to try something new, I'm looking forward to joining different organizations.
Okay, awesome. Jennifer, let me ask you a question. When she picked Tuskegee, what was your thought?
My first thought was, oh my God, I'm so glad she's close to home, because she looked at schools and at first years ago, she talked about Stanford. Then after she got exposed to more HBCUs, she looked at Prairie View, and Prairie View's in Texas. We went to visit that. The day that we came back was the day that the city shut down with that big ice storm. So I told her that may be a deterrent. And then she looked at Mississippi State. That was another school. So we both, Steve and I have both been open-minded in telling her, wherever you go, we're going to support you.
Absolutely.
So Tuskegee was always number one on her list. When we sat down and like, what's your top 20 schools? Tuskegee was always in the top 3. So once she got exposed to them and then went and visited and kept in contact with them, we were very comfortable in knowing that Tuskegee would probably be it. So I was really excited because, one thing that I did tell her, that we're not going to send you to a school sight unseen. And it's very important that I've met friends and have friends who first time they ever visited a college that they went to is the day that they moved in. And I said, we're not going to do that because we want the environment. We want to know what's around there. Just like she said, when we went to go visit Texas A&M, they had 70,000 students. They had 2 Chick-fil-A's on the campus, 2 this, and I'm like, oh no, this is too big for you. You will be a number, literally, at a school like this. Not that that means that she couldn't do well there, but we know her and we know the environment that she needs to be in. So that's what was really, really important to us. And she did all her research on all the different schools in their animal science program and their College of Veterinary Medicine. So that's why it was important for us to visit these schools that she was really looking at possibly going to. So once we did Tuskegee and it kept coming up, we figured that's going to be the school that she's going to choose. Mm-hmm.
So what I hear you saying, looking at these schools is just like a person looking for a church. You don't want to be in a big church because you get caught off into the numbers.
Absolutely.
But your pastor don't know you, and I know your pastor know you, Makenzie.
Mm-hmm.
You know when you get, he know when you're in the house. So leaving Westlake will be getting out of school in a couple weeks, correct?
Yes.
When is your last day at Westlake?
May 6th.
Her last day. Mm-hmm.
Your last day, okay. What could you tell the incoming students that's coming into the 12th grade what to do and what to look for to be on the right path?
I tell them, don't wait till the last minute. Deadlines come super quick. And you also just don't want to do anything last minute. So whether that's applications, scholarships, letters of recommendation, just anything, don't wait till the last minute. Also, make sure your time management you prioritize because, senior year has a lot of activities that can get you, just a little distracted, but you got to make sure you keep your eye on the prize. And lastly, trust the process. Like I said before, it can become very overwhelming. People, they want to give up because it's just like, it's becoming too much. So I would say just trust the process. Everything will work out as it's supposed to.
Okay. Jennifer, you doing the student breakfast, the breakfast for the kids this year at the Westlake? They're going out breakfast. You doing that breakfast for them kids?
What breakfast you talking about?
What breakfast? When in 2009, we gave the seniors a breakfast and the teachers. Are y'all doing that this year over Westlake?
You know what? The College and Careers Advisor, Mr. Moore, along with Miss Woodhouse, have been phenomenal in scheduling all the senior activities. So awesome. With Mr. Adams coming on board, they've done so many things. Like they started this year with Makenzie and Cason's assistants senior gala that's going to now be an annual tradition. So awesome. They're coming up with so many things. Have you heard about a breakfast? Well, no, we've not heard about that, but I'll go put that bug in Mr.
No, we're a little old school. Things have changed since 2009. We're a little old school. We're wrapping down to the close. I can sit here all day and talk to Makenzie. Lydia, let me ask you a question. Do you have any scholarships or know of any scholarships right now for kids that's looking for scholarships? I see you, Makenzie.
Well, if they're in the state of Georgia, they need to determine whether they are eligible for our state scholarships, and so the Hope Scholarship, and then for those who are all A students, there is a higher one than just the regular Hope. So I would say there. And then for those who want to go to a 2-year college, there's a Hope Scholarship for those programs or those apprenticeship and certification programs. And for those who are going to regular colleges, it is very late. It's April. So 99% of the money has been given out. However, if you accept and go there, you can always start now looking for scholarships that you can apply within your university after you get there and have 1 year. You just need to know if they're departmental, what your GPA needs to be, and if there are other things. So yes, there are still ways. It might not be anything for right this moment, but because it's late, it's April. 99% of scholarships for the fall have already been given out, and others, they already have their slate of candidates and they're still interviewing. But again, I do want to mention that we have a program with United Way and Banneker High School. It's called the Bridge Program. It's a pre-apprenticeship program. We've got a session this upcoming Saturday. We've introduced them to the IBEW, which is the electrical workers. We've also introduced them to IUPAT, which is the International Union of Painters and Allied Trade. And then we're going to introduce them to BAC, which is Bricklayers Association in Construction. And so, and they'll also learn about cement work and things of that nature. These can be jobs where you start off as an apprentice at $15 an hour. And when you finish, you're at anywhere from $70 an hour or above. And so, and again, it comes with no debt, but we do have a program in South Fulton at Banneker High School that's open to work-based learning. I was so glad to hear Makenzie say she was a part of that. And we actually work with Fulton County Schools, CTAE, work-based learning. Our kids get a stipend when they attend our programs. And it's just to give them, engage them in these other skilled trades that they can go into once they leave high school. So again, I'm honored to work with them. But remember, there's always the military, and the military has its own scholarship programs within where you can actually continue as a military cadet or student and be a student and in college, and the military pays for it. So there are still options that may not be a 4-year college.
Yes. We're going to be wrapping up, closing, but I'm going to say this. Not only do we have a great Westlake, we have Langston Hughes, Banneker, Creekside, where the students over there are getting top money coming out of those schools. Again, so I want to thank the city of South Fulton for having great schools, and the children can't be great unless the parents in the village get behind them. We got some great kids out here. And some of them just need a little push. And remember, every kid don't want to go to college. So it's other programs like Mrs. Glaize said out there for these students. In your closing remarks, Makenzie, come on, give us some closing remarks. Tell us, because we probably won't get to hear from you no more until I see you on TV somewhere. So give us some closing remarks.
Well, first I want to say thank you guys for having me. I really love going around and just telling my story and my journey, because my journey wasn't perfect. People might think that because of the end result, but it was really a journey of a lot of uncertainty, a lot of tears, long nights, early mornings. So everything happening now, it was a long time coming. So I'll say that. And also just to anybody that's listening that is, about to begin the process of applying to college, have a positive outlook on everything. You'll end up at a school that's right for you. Like I said, rejection is God's protection. So yeah.
Thank you. All right, Mother, what you want to leave with the parents? And before I say that, I know you, because this is going to go YouTube, but what can you leave with the parents of our community?
I know it's hard for parents to sometimes believe this, but and I'm a firm believer in us. Makenzie is just one of many that look like us. And I'm a firm believer that we have just as many opportunities as other kids in other denominations. And we just have to go out there and be persistent, go out and get it, because that's the key. These kids need our support. And unless you have to be involved with your children in order to get them what they need. One of the things that we've always did with Makenzie, if we cultivated her passion. Once we knew that animals were her passion, we stuck by it, we cultivated it. And like she said, there were nights of tears, there was nights of sweat, but at the end of the day, she started seeing where it was getting her. And I tell a lot of parents, I didn't sit here and just tell her, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Like Ms. Glaize said, there are kids that are not college material. And it doesn't mean they can't go out into this world and be productive. When you cultivate your child's passion, you know what direction to take them in. I was talking to a good friend of mine the other day. His son likes to work on cars. He doesn't want to go to college, but he wants to be a custom car designer. Then send him to a school that will help him cultivate that. Because guess what? He'll make more money than some other people that we know,
Absolutely.
but you know he's productive in society. So that's why it's important that our schools start focusing those type of things to make sure that our kids have the resources and the foundation to be very successful in the world. So I would leave any parent with cultivate your child's passion. In addition, listen to your children. At first I was stubborn and it was my way or no way, but then I had to realize when she goes on into this world, she makes those decisions. Let me listen to her and see what she wants to do and let me support her. So that would be the two things I would step away with.
Yeah, you just hit my toes, because I was that parent.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be my way or no way,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to step back.
Got to step back.
Miss Glaize.
So I'm going to close with saying again, a phenomenal family, the Thompson family, and Makenzie, again, all blessings continue to come your way, and your parents, they're already blessed having a beautiful daughter. I would say that in this community, we have to offer a lot of options for our kids. And we need to make sure that we're attracting businesses in this community where our kids can work. There should not be just one type of low-paying types of jobs in our community. Right. You guys are getting what I'm saying. There should be a Absolutely. Variety. And in these cities, we've got to attract all kinds of businesses, corporate, and make sure that our kids have options for good paying jobs in their own communities. And I want to say, I'm so excited about our recent confirming of our new justice, Ms. Ketanji Brown Jackson, showing young ladies like Makenzie, you can be what you want to be, dream, do the work. And Absolutely. One day, even though you got opposition is not going to stop you from doing what you are already been written on to do by your Heavenly Father. So I say again, we've got an African-American vice president. Nobody thought that was going to happen. And at the same time, now we've got a Black female African-American justice, Supreme Court Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson, to which we say, the sky's the limit, Makenzie, and you're going for it. And we are behind you from your community.
Absolutely. Well, Makenzie, we're going to be getting off here soon, but let me tell you, I'm going to be keeping up with you. I wish you the best going to Tuskegee. I'm usually down in that neck of the woods because I go down there to Pittsview, Alabama. And so I might stop by Tuskegee sometime just to see how Makenzie's doing down there. I know you're going to do well. You already have made your parents proud. You have made the city of South Fulton proud. And then I want to say thank you for putting the city of South Fulton on the map as in a positive way. Because sometimes we get so much negative press. So I want to thank you for doing that. I remember back here, Jennifer, you probably can remember when a news anchor did a story saying that Westlake students, they won nothing over there, basically. They won the G. And I can say today that she told a tale. I'm gonna leave it like that. She told a tale.
It eat them words.
Makenzie, you going on and do whatever God have you to do. You come back and open that vet in the city of South Fulton. And I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna visit you. Again, I want to thank you for coming. Your mom. I want to thank Miss Glaize for coming. And again, we look forward to watching you down through the years. The best is coming. Oh, I see the shirt. Go on and put that shirt out there. I see it, Tuskegee. There you go. Tuskegee, there you go. Again, I want to thank you guys today for coming. Wish you well. Jennifer, go on and put on your traveling shoes. Now, you already travel, but go and put on your traveling shoes. And we look forward, Miss Glaize, we look forward for what's best yet come to you. I know you'd be running for one of those rep seats. So we look forward for you helping the children, bringing the money to Georgia, like always. Again, I want to thank you all for coming today. Great show.
Thank
Can I
you.
tell what district I'm running for? House of Representatives, District 67, which is inclusive of Union City, Fairburn, Palmetto, and the parts of Noonan. That's a new district. There is no incumbent. I am the Democratic nominee, but we still need you guys to come out and vote from the top of the ticket with Stacy all the way down to District 65, which is Mandisha Thomas, 67, which will be Lydia Glaize.
Amen. And I know that Makenzie already registered to vote. She's gonna cast her first vote this year. So again, you can't vote yet.
No,
Ours
she's
said
already, this
second
will be her
vote.
second time voting. She voted already this year.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations again. Thank you so much. And you guys
Alrighty.
have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.